Allow me, before I delve into the speech, to pay tribute and indeed condolences to you, Madam President, and indeed the entire nation of India for losing a business icon in the name of Ratan Tata a few days ago. The business community here in Malawi mourns with you. A few weeks ago, we were at the conclave, and I was sat conveniently next to Mr. Noel Tata, and we took length as Malawi to appreciate what Tata has done, not only in the motor vehicle aspect, but we're also trying to talk of them doing a lot more value addition in agricultural products here in Malawi, because we tasted Tata tea, Tata coffee, and it was strange for us Malawians because we known Tata as Tata Motors. We didn't know we can drink Tata tea, and all this speaks to the ingenuity of the Tata family business-wise, and we pay tribute and indeed condolences for losing such an icon in business. Allow me, Madam President, to also, like others have said before me, attest to the growing trade and investment relations between our two countries, as India is one of Malawi's major export destinations, where a number of commodities, including pigeon peas, soybean, Malawi mangoes, macadamia nuts, chilies, groundnuts, pulses are all exported to India. India is also a notable source of foreign direct investment for Malawi since time immemorial. And India has a very significant section of the Malawi industrial base in agriculture, trading textiles, tourism, in health, and ICT, just to mention a few. And Malawi is a beneficiary of a duty-free preferential trading scheme that India offers to LDCs, including Malawi. And of course, one area of interest worth highlighting is that some of our exports, such as mangoes and macadamia to India, still face some high tariffs. I think it's at 28%. It is low generally, but we still want, through you, Madam President, 28% for us here in Malawi is still a little bit on the higher side. And at the gesture that you've given to LDCs, if it could also be extended a little bit further so that we continue lowering the tariffs, because we're growing quite a lot of good mangoes, and I would want the destination for all our mangoes to be India. I think right now is 90-something% of Malawi mangoes land in India. And I think God made it like that deliberately, so that when the India mangoes are out of season, the Malawi mangoes should be in season. I think that partnership was made in heaven, and we should continue nourishing it. Allow me also, Madam President, to acknowledge that India gave us market access for pigeon peas, and an MOU was concluded on the same in 2020. And that was the hard work of your representative here, His Excellency, the Ambassador of the High Commissioner, and indeed the team from the two Ministries of Trade and Commerce in India and Trade here in Malawi, that we were able to sign that MOU, and we have benefited from the MOU. But Madam President, allow me, in the spirit of private sector, of being candid and open and direct, that we have faced some challenges, which I think officials from two nations are aware of. And as a country, would really want to see this solved as aggressively as possible and as urgently as possible, so that pigeon peas from Malawi is not blocked in our borders, but have safe passage to the destiny market as the MOU had intended in 2020. And we'll seek your support, Your Excellency, Madam President. Allow me to also say that as we export more agricultural products to India, one thing that has been highlighted over and over again is your production capacity. We would want you to produce more. India is a big market. We want you to improve on your productive capacity, which is true that sitting here, we still have some production capacity challenges. But this morning, I wanted us to flip the same coin and look at productive capacity not as a challenge, but as an opportunity for some of us investors to go on and to mechanize the mega farms, to commercialize our agriculture, and scale up that production, because there's a ready market in India, there's a ready market that is available for us. So we should stop looking at insufficient productive capacity as a challenge, rather as an opportunity for us to venture into our mega farm initiative. As all of us are aware, Malawi is well known as the warm heart of Africa, and it's mainly due to the warmth of the people that you come across here in Malawi. A very hardworking breed of the people that are welcoming and charming. And Malawi is a land of peace and has never been to war. One of the few African countries that has not been to war. Not that there are no differences in Malawi. There are differences. But we believe so much in the rule of law. We believe so much in contact and dialogue, and all these take precedence. Malawi is that country in Africa where courts can nullify an election result. And in fact, the court can order a rerun of that election, and that a different candidate can win that election. And yet, business continues unabated. You don't see this in many African countries, and our belief in the rule of law, our belief in contact and dialogue, our belief in peace is that one aspect of Malawi that should really speak to an investor that wants not only a place to do business, but also a place to live happily with their families. Madam President, Malawi has a long-term national development plan. We call it the Malawi 2063. And the vision and passion of our leadership, Dr. Lazarus MacArthur Chakwera, is to move Malawi to a prosperous, industrialized, and self-sustaining economy by 2063. And actually, to achieve this vision, government has front-loaded 3 key sectors, what we call the low-hanging fruits, the priorities that government has set. And these sectors are in agriculture, commercializing the agriculture, value addition, light manufacturing, heavy manufacturing in the agriculture sector. We've also paid attention to tourism, and I'm happy, Madam President, that you take your time to really visit one of the gems of this part of Africa, the Lake Malawi, the big body of fresh water. We really appreciate that, because tourism is at the heart of Malawi 2063, and indeed it forms part of our 3 key sectors that we prioritized. And the last one is mining, and agriculture, tourism, and mining. The acronym that we have hatched is ATM, the agriculture, tourism, mining. And we believe that's where the money will come from for a country like Malawi. Some of you will recall that what I said at the conclave in August in New Delhi. I indicated that for Africa, including Malawi, to actualize their long-term dreams of industrialization, we need to invest in manufacturing and value addition processes. Trading is good, investment is better. Malawi is a country that can virtually grow every commodity, and my ministry is putting maximum effort in supporting manufacturing rather than just general trading. Buying and selling is good. Foreign direct investment, local setting up of factories, creating jobs for our youth is a lot better than just doing trading. In an effort of creating conducive regulatory environment to turn around our economy, the government is implementing some supporting flagship projects, which include in the industrial development, Malawi is developing the special economic zones or industrial parks. And in the agriculture sector, the government is inviting investors in mega farms to increase production and productivity. Government has already identified land for this purpose across the country. We have a unit called the Mega Farms Unit, which welcomes investors who really are looking for such chunk of land so they can grow what they know there's a market for somewhere else. My mind being on India. On energy, investment opportunities are also available in power generation, transmission, and distribution from hydro, solar, biofuels, and wind to meet the growing national and regional energy demands. The energy sector in Malawi allows the participation of independent power producers, and this is the sector where Indian investors fit very well to add cleaner and more reliable electricity generation by 2030. And in mining, Malawi has known deposits of coal, niobium, limestone, heavy mineral sands, uranium, rare earth minerals, silica sands, and pink granite, amongst others. This is a virgin sector where great untapped opportunity still exists today. In tourism, there are available investment opportunities, especially in eco and cultural tourism, and Malawi is endowed with large bodies of fresh water and beautiful sunny beaches, breathtaking geographical sceneries, accelerating mountain views, and rich natural forests and wildlife, as well as friendly and culturally rich people in a very peaceful nation. We have unique mountain tourism potential with unexplored caves and picture square sceneries offering some of the highest peaks in East and Southern Africa. As I come to an end, Madam President, let me assure all potential investors planning to invest in Malawi that your investments in Malawi is and will be secured, and the time to invest in Malawi is now. And Malawi offers many incentives, including tax holidays of up to 10 years for agro-processing and power generation projects, just to ensure that business are supported to grow. And regionally, you invest in Malawi, you enjoy the whole of African market, because we are members of all our regional bodies. And also, 80% of our population is under the age of 35. This means you will have access to trainable, cost-effective human capital, English speaking. And Malawi is politically stable in the region with peace-loving population, and the government has the one-stop service shop, the Malawi Investment and Trade Center. I therefore invite you, our distinguished visitors, to join us on this transformational journey by investing in Malawi, to assure you that the government of Malawi will provide all the necessary support to ensure a successful investment, and come to Malawi for value of your investments, and you will never regret. Thank you, Madam President, for listening. Thank you very much, and good morning once again.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We are grateful for your generous remarks. Your vision for India-Malawi business relationship is truly inspiring, and we are sure that both sides will find common interests to cooperate with each other. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct honor to invite the Honorable President of India, Srimati Droupadi Murmu ji, to address this business roundtable. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Rashtrapati ji.
India, ladies and gentlemen, namaskar, good morning. It is a great pleasure for me to to be the first Indian president to visit the warm heart of Africa. I am delighted to address the business community of India and Malawi. India and Malawi share cordial and friendly bilateral relations. India was one of the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with Malawi immediately after its independence in 1964. However, the people-to-people ties between the two countries span over 140 years. Coincidentally, this year also marks the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries. Our partnership is not confined to governments alone, as Africa has emerged as an important trade and investment destination. India's private sector is at the forefront of driving this impetus. There are growing investments by Indian companies, both multinational and SMEs in Africa, in a range of sectors. These include telecommunications, hydrocarbon, exploration, agriculture, light manufacturing, IT and IT education, water treatment and supply management, petroleum, refining and retail, chemicals, drugs and pharmaceuticals, coal, automobiles, floriculture, engineering, consultancy and management, paper, textile, among others. Friends, India has set a goal of beginning Viksit Bharat by 2047. To achieve that goal, over the last few years, India has taken various steps, including series of administrative reforms to improve the business sentiment as well as ease of doing business. These reforms and initiatives are aimed at transforming the business climate of the country and making a substantive change in the way we do business. From 2021 to 2024, India has been among the fastest growing major economies with an average growth rate of 8% annually, becoming the fifth largest economy in the world and soon to become one of the top 3 economies. The guiding principle of the government is reform to transform. India's success story, as it is unfolding today, is a promising one. During 2023-24, India achieved export of $778 billion. India today hosts the 3rd largest startup ecosystem globally. India has 111 unicorns with a valuation of more than $350 billion. On the infrastructure side, India has launched ambitious initiatives. An investment of $1.3 trillion is being made, especially on connectivity infrastructure. These initiatives also implement our other initiatives such as Skill India, Digital India, Startup India, Make in India, and Atmanirbhar Bharat. In the last decade, the number of broadband users in India has increased from 60 million to over 940 million. Similarly, around 7 lakh kilometers of optical fiber have been laid in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, 250 million people in India have been lifted out of poverty. To provide a little perspective, this number is more than 10 times Malawi's population. Friends, the commercial relations between India and Malawi are historic. It is interesting to know that the Nyasaland Indian Traders Association, established in 1923, which later became the Indian Chamber of Commerce in 1936, had a large number of Indians as its members. The bilateral trade between India and Malawi has been growing despite COVID pandemic-induced downturn. India is currently the fourth largest trading partner of Malawi, and India is also one of the largest investors in Malawi with over $500 million worth of investments in various sectors. Friends, Malawi is a country rich in natural resources and fertile agricultural land. On the other hand, India has a large consumer base with increasing demand for energy, minerals, and food for its large population. Both our countries can come together to find synergy in many areas. There is an immense scope for enhancing our cooperation in the field of agriculture, mining, energy, tourism, etc., which you mentioned earlier. I congratulate all of you for recognizing this potential and putting your minds together to convene this meeting, and I wish you all success to today's deliberation. I am confident that today's interaction will prove to be a significant milestone in developing commercial relations between the two countries. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Honorable Rashtrapati Ji, we extend our deepest gratitude for your insightful remarks. We are encouraged by your words, and we are convinced that your visit will further enhance the commercial relationship between India and Malawi. As we come to the close of the formal session, it is my privilege to invite now the High Commissioner of India to Malawi, Mr. S. Gopal Krishnan, to deliver vote of thanks.
Honorable Rashtrapati Ji, Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Government of Malawi, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Government of Malawi, the Honorable Minister of State for Education, Government of India, Honorable Members of Parliament, distinguished guests and business delegates from India and Malawi.